Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1 Phathead. Cande Roth, rough day. Temperature-wise, we're great. About 55 for the high. So no threat of, snow today with that precipitation. But it's going to be nasty with the wind. Gusts could be 40 miles an hour. Heavy rains on and off. That could be a dry moment at times, but just one of those days, Cande. And
it is. It's meant for me to just nap away the day.
Right. Today's a big nap day for our girl here, and I'll tell you, this is how the show goes. This is how we decide what to talk about. We're off the air. There's music playing. We're about to go on. And Cande just randomly says, with the rain coming today, I decided to take some very long walks yesterday. And I said, stop it. Don't say another word. Let's discuss. Literally, that's the show. This is the show.
This is the show. This is how exciting we really are. Well,
yeah.
We took our our normal walk yesterday, Tilly and I, as we do every day. Some days shorter, some days longer. Yesterday was a long one. And then went to the park in the afternoon and walked and walked and walked longer than I really ever do there because I knew today was going to stink and it was so beautiful yesterday. And I said, I'm going to keep walking and feel good. Now I'm exhausted. Okay?
I was about to say, I'm surprised you were able to get up this morning, honestly.
I almost texted you. I was this close.
Are you serious?
I'm serious to say, listen, I cannot do it today.
I believe it. And there's the show, folks. Good night. Have a great day. Yeah, no.
Anyway, let's talk about, I don't know, your day.
All right, no. I have these articles. So let's get into a couple of food things.
All right.
The CEO of Kellogg's, I want to see how you feel about this. The CEO of Kellogg's was on, he was on a show, I think CNBC, all right? And they were talking about dollars and cents and how expensive food and making meals and all these things. And his whole thing was, hey, just give the kids cereal for dinner. It's a cheaper option and they'll love it. And so now he's under pressure because, obviously.
And pressure from who?
Well, cereals are not healthy, as we know, most of them.
It depends what kind you're eating.
Eh.
But once in a while, it's okay to have a bowl of cereal for dinner.
Oh, absolutely. But this should not be a regular.
Suck you up and kill you.
Agreed.
And another thing, not necessarily cereal. My kids used to get so excited when I would make breakfast for dinner.
Oh, my God.
Do that?
Yeah. So not only do we do that, last night Elijah was unsure of what to have, and he ended up having chicken or whatever. But I said, tomorrow, Elijah, you should make, and he loves cooking eggs. I said, you should make yourself eggs for dinner. Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
They would get so excited. The guy was cooking up a storm. They loved having breakfast for dinner on occasion. So have your cereal on occasion if that's what you want to do.
Yep. So I love, the breakfast thing I love, but this was more so like, he's like, yeah, you should, do it every night. Have cereal for dinner.
Well, I don't think you should do anything every night. I think you should always mix it up. So if you want to have cereal tonight, fine. Then don't have it again for a little while. How's that?
And maybe, stay away from the Fruit Loops and the Frosted Flakes. A little healthier option would be.
Yeah. And there are
better.
many. There are many to choose from. So, yeah.
I want to discuss strange food combinations, all right? Found this article about things that maybe we ate as kids that as adults are just weird and you don't do. I'll give you an example.
All right.
Ketchup sandwiches on white bread, Cande.
Never had one of those.
You never did ketchup on white bread?
Never.
Because I grew up in a house where I feel like I remember doing like some meat with some ketchup on white Wonder Bread occasionally.
Really? The weirdest I got was peanut butter on bread with canned peaches.
Ooh.
Take the peaches and put it on top of the peanut butter and add it to the sandwich.
Interesting. I don't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
like
haven't done that since I was a kid. So there you go.
here's another example how we used to cut, or our parents used to cut up hot dogs and put them in everything. Scrambled eggs, mac and cheese, right?
Beans, yes, yes,
Now,
yes.
you said earlier when we were teasing this article that your father had some very strange food
Very
combos.
strange. And here's the weirdest one. And literally, when I would see him going for it, I'd have to leave the kitchen. He would take now listen carefully, a can of spinach.
Okay.
Spinach in a can, okay? Which was slimy and disgusting to begin with.
All right.
Then he would put that in a bowl, add some cottage cheese, and a soft boiled egg.
That is,
Good night. Chuck, please. I'm out of here.
that is bizarre. And he did that as
Bizarre.
an adult.
He did that as an adult. Like that would be a lunch or whatever. When he would grab that, first of all, who eats spinach in a can? Who? I don't know
Yeah.
anyone. My father.
Now, here, okay, my father, his thing was ketchup. Still to this day, puts ketchup. You know the Frank's Red Hot
Yes.
commercial? He
I
puts
put that bleep on everything.
His thing is ketchup. Everything. We used to go to the diner, and he'd just get ketchup all over whatever he was eating.
Wow.
Never forget it. Now, here's one that's on the list. I've never done this, but I've seen people do this. You have an Italian meal, like spaghetti, whatever, something with red sauce, with a big glass of milk.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have never been a milk drinker. So, yeah, no, that's disgusting.
I know some people do like that. Now, let me see how good of a listener you are. Do you remember my bizarre food that I loved as a kid? It was two things. I'd put one on top of the other. Do you remember this story, Candy?
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. I want to say cottage cheese is in there.
Cottage cheese and tuna was my combination.
Oh, that's not so terribly disgusting.
Well, here's how it would have to go. I would never do it nowadays. I don't know. Never had the thought. As a kid, I would take a plate. And by the way, you know how bizarre I am, okay?
Oh, we all know how bizarre you are.
I would not eat it unless it was made this way. You would take the tuna and on a flat plate and mush it down, literally cover the bottom of the plate.
Now, the tuna had mayonnaise in it or just the plain can of tuna?
No, I think it was tuna with mayo.
All right.
Okay.
Continue.
You put the tuna, flatten it out on a plate. Then you put the cottage cheese right on top. Like you cover all the tuna with a layer of cottage cheese. And it had to be that way because when you take a forkful and you put it in your mouth, the cottage cheese had to be on top so it would hit the roof of my mouth. That's the way it tasted the best. I needed the cottage cheese on top.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Now.
All right, that's not so weird. I mean...
You don't feel like that explains a lot? I don't know.
I know, and you're not doing it anymore. I still have one comfort food that I had as a kid that if I'm really upset or I've been sick or whatever, I will turn to this. And it's, you boil up some macaroni, right?
Mm.
You put cheese, any kind of cheese that you want in it, right? But you don't mix it through. Then you add ketchup, but again, you don't mix the whole thing through. So there are some plain macaroni. There's some macaroni with cheese. There's some macaroni and cheese and ketchup. To this day, I will make that if I am really not feeling well.
Yeah, I think that sounds okay. I'm all right with that.
One of my favorite comfort foods to this day.
I think my father would be all for it. Ketchup on macaroni.
But you can't
Absolutely.
mix it thoroughly. There has to be a little bit of everything. It can't be mixed together totally. Got it?
All right, I understand. So you take a big ladle
full
full,
cooked macaroni.
right? And then you don't know what you're gonna get. You take the spoonful, and you don't know. It could be a little cheese, a lot of cheese,
little cheese, some macaroni, or it could be all three. That's the way I roll.
All right. I'm sure there's some very bizarre food combos out there.
I'm sure there are.
Yeah, we'll maybe we'll get an email about one of them. We'll discuss another day. But Candy, we still have plenty to do. Your Bald and the Beautiful entertainment comes up about 8:12. Everything from Nashville to Hollywood. Tell you about a big summer tour that was announced. We'll tell you some other bits of info, including I love the advice that Timothée Chalamet got from Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
We will discuss that at about 8:12. We also have to delve into this Wonka experience that we'll tell you about. It was a huge bust, and the pictures are on TMZ. You got to see the pictures. It's
Yes,
so,
definitely.
so
I'm interested
bad.
in that, for sure.
And we do have your national days, your good news stories. All right, today we are going to climb to about 55, but the gusty wind and the rain just ruins the day. It's going to be nasty throughout the day with maybe a couple of pockets where you can kind of rest for a second, but it's going to be all day. Let's hit the roads. My Country 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.